Oh man. Let's see. I can't even see my table at all. Hold on, y'all. Let me make some quick adjustments here. And bring that down. And because when I use my tripod, let me move these out the way. When I use my tripod, it's hard to see sometimes what's going on. You know, we're just going to make it work for today. Got the cards right here. But hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk. These are Tarot Things, and I'm your host, Boogie down Bronx. And I'm here to take care of everybody, all signs, for the Leo, I was about to say new moon, Leo full moon reading. Sorry, y'all. My septum is kind of crooked. Got some stuff on my face. I clearly didn't look in the mirror before I started this video. All right, we're good. But yeah, so I got some notes on my iPad for this Leo full moon. All right, the Leo full moon is going to be on January 28th, 2:15 Eastern Standard Time. Sun, Jupiter, Saturn conjunction on that full moon. So that's a lot going on. Sun deals with ego and self. Jupiter deals with growth and expansion. Saturn deals with limitations and responsibility and karma. So wrap that all up and you get all that energy in one. Okay, so usually the Leo full moon is one that's pretty lighthearted, pretty fun, stuff like that. This one might be more serious because of Saturn. When you're dealing with the energy of Saturn, it just makes everything a lot more serious, can bring more harsh lessons and stuff like that. So a lot of ego issues and ego battles with the Sun and Saturn with this full moon. And then we have Mercury retrograde, which is on the 30th. So full moon, jump right into retrograde. All right, so it's going to be a lot of karmic situations coming up and a lot of closing of chapters. But also it's going to be like, it's such a weird thing because it'll be like, for some it's like closure, and then other situations coming back around because of the retrograde. Like this could be anything, past stuff, old debt that you hadn't paid, anything like that that's coming back around. Okay, but again, so like this is more so a better time to do a lot of reevaluating and putting certain things to rest, because you don't really want to start new projects, brand new stuff on a retrograde especially, and full moons are not for manifesting really either. So with that being said, we're going to go Leo all the way through. I'm starting with Leo because it's the full moon in Leo. So we're going to do that. If you have a Leo sun or a Leo rising, watch for your sun and rising signs. All right. So this first one, we're starting with Leo, and the last time will be Cancer. Okay. So we're going to do, like I usually do, astrology perspective and the tarot perspective. So Leo, if you are a Leo sun or if you're a Leo rising, this full moon in Leo is happening in your first house. So this full moon might be one where you're just really thinking about who the heck you are. Okay, you're thinking about everything from what it is you like to what you don't like about yourself, what you like about everything. Okay, a period of self-discovery and a completion of thinking about where you were last year. You could be doing a lot of reflecting. Where was I last year compared to this year? Some things you're going to be happy with, some things you're not. You're going to be like, wow, I thought I'd be further in life, or wow, I'm still doing this thing that I said I was going to stop doing. So a lot of like that energy of like, what do I need to change? Reflection on yourself, stuff like that. All right. And then you have other things with aspects that are happening here. You might have other feelings of betrayal because, again, it's dealing with the ego. So you could have some situations come up that really bruise your ego. So feelings of betrayal, fights, especially when it comes to your job, maybe tension in the workplace. There's a lot of themes here with different signs going with tension in the workplace and tension in social settings. So for some of you, you might deal with a situation that you feel like you don't have a lot of help, or you feel like you're very much on your own, and that hurts your ego or your pride because you don't have anyone to talk to or to help you get through something. And so, there's likeliness of feeling of betrayal here. So getting like a mediator to kind of get involved, maybe somebody that's unbiased, could help with the situation that comes up, especially if it's in regards to your work, or even if this was at home. Getting somebody else or getting this information to somebody who doesn't really know you as well is something that could probably help and give you a different change of perspective, like a therapist. Okay, so with that being said, what is the advice for Leo under their full moon? What's the advice for Leo under the Leo full moon? Look at you. Okay, Leo. Scrumph. All right, we got the Eight of Wands and the Strength card. So do your best to just, whatever it is that makes you feel like your best self, all right? Eight of Wands still advises you to move forward, to communicate, to, try to follow through with plans that you already have in place, okay? Keep moving. But the Strength card also reminds you to control your impulses that might be negative, or tame that side of you that's like wants to lash out, or that ego side of you, and just really working with your shadow self or whatever it is, and maintaining your sense of what's that word, patience, okay, with the Strength card. So that's you right there showing out. All right, so moving on for where the full moon is affecting Virgo. So Leo, Virgo. Virgo, the full moon is happening if you're a Virgo sun or Virgo rising. It's happening in your 12th house. All right. 12th house is y'all just, excuse me, we, Virgo sun right here, rest. Okay. 12th house is about needing to retreat and rest and recover, really getting into your subconscious mind. So a lot of you Virgos out there might be feeling a lot more tired during this time, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm just exhausted, or I don't really feel like being around people right now. I don't feel like responding. I don't feel like talking to people. So a lot of you might just be feeling very like, kind of like what the Aquarians were feeling for, was it the last full moon? And maybe it was the last full moon in Cancer, or the new moon rather, one of those, where it was hitting the 12th house for Aquarius. Now it's hitting the 12th house for Virgo. So you might be feeling very tired and want to isolate yourself. For others of you, could be some hidden enemies that are revealed to you, or some people that don't have your best interest at heart, because 12th house rules hidden enemies. So be on the lookout for people that are kind of showing their true colors here, and believe them, or there's something that you're going to come to realization about people around you. And also just knowing that you don't have to do it all on your own. So if you figure like, man, I don't know how I'm going to get this all done, just feeling very pessimistic about the future, or feeling like Four of Cups energy, very like bored or melancholy, like whatever energy, maybe try to get some collaborations going that might inspire you, or that'll help take the pressure off for you to perform 24/7. Y'all know how we do. All right. So that's the energy for Virgo, mainly just getting your rest. Any other advice for Virgo under the Leo full moon? The Devil card in reverse. Okay, free yourself from the shackles. Why is the Devil card here? What is the Fool card? I don't know, it flipped, but I'm gonna take it upright because it fell out upright. So the Fool card and the Devil card in reverse. Free yourself from that negative trance, or that negative thinking that you can't start anew, or you'll never get that fresh feeling back when it comes to your career. Maybe you just become so overworked, or just tired of doing the same thing over and over and over, and it starts to make you feel like you're a robot. So just seeing where you've really put some limits on yourself. Capricorn energy here, and Aries, Aquarius energy right here. But maybe where you've just been too strict on yourself, you need to like loosen up a little bit. Okay, moving on. Libra, the full moon is happening in your 11th house. 11th house of friendships and hopes and dreams and wishes and community. So for some of you, you're coming to a completion of some type of wish fulfillment or long-term project that you've been working on. Maybe you're almost done writing a book, or you're almost done reaching a certain goal here. For others of you, there might be like a shift in your friend group, or a shift in a social circle something like that. Or you possibly might need other people. You're realizing you need other people's resources, or you need to make some new connections. Something in regards to your connections is going to be changing. Others of you, you might have some delays when it comes down to, keep in mind, everything that I'm saying can be delayed because it's Mercury retrograde. So delays in something in regards to a project, or something in regards to resources that you need. So maybe you need something, but you can't get it yet. Or it's like it's on the way, but it's like very slow progress. This is especially in regards to money for what you want to do or where you want to go. So delays in regards to funds or projects involving other people possibly. All right, so what's the advice for Libra, suns, and risings under this Leo new moon? I mean, full moon. We got the moon card. Sorry, y'all. If I keep saying Hermit, Virgo. Sorry if I keep saying new moon. Oh, we got Pisces and Virgo. You could have Pisces or Virgo placements here. Hermit card and the moon card. So your other advice from an intuitive perspective is to just know that everything is not set in stone yet. Okay, nothing is set in stone. Moon card, there is some things that you can't really see yet. And so really just withdrawing, focusing on yourself, and, you know, coming back to center, because, you know, it's not the best time to just free frolic and start all these new things with new people. Just, you know, if it's unclear, just take a step back, okay? And retract back into you. Moving along to Scorpio. So this Leo full moon is happening in your 10th house. If you're a Scorpio sun or a Scorpio rising, like me, I'm a Scorpio rising. So it's kind of going to be like this career versus family type of thing going on, because it's happening in your 10th house. 10th house is career versus family because of certain aspects affecting the 4th house, which is home life and stuff. But anyway, career in the 10th house. 10th house is public reputation. It's your long-term career. It's long-term goals. Like I said, reputation. And so one phase of a long-term project might be ending, or you're coming to a completion with something that you started last year. Could have been during the last Leo full moon, possibly. But yeah, and others of you, you might be getting some type of upgrade when it comes down to, you could be starting a new project after one ends, or you're like going to be moving into some more responsibilities or getting a promotion possibly, but it is likely to come at a cost, okay? So remember that we're going into retrograde, so you want to make sure that you're not signing up for anything yet if you don't have to, and you're not taking on more or like making any new changes, because you might regret it, or you might not feel the same way after the retrograde. Now, if you have to make some type of adjustment when it comes down to your career, just be very careful. Everything just move slowly. That's the advice for everybody, is to just move slow and think about things, read things very carefully before you sign the dotted line, all right? Because it's likely going to come with more responsibilities, or come with some type of sacrifice. Maybe you have to leave home or something like that, okay? So what's the advice for Scorpio sun and risings under this full moon? What's the advice? The Emperor and the Ace of Pentacles, okay? There is definitely a new financial opportunity that's coming up for you guys, okay? And like I said, both of these energies are such strong energies of promotion energy, upgrading. The Emperor is, you know, authority, and could be entrepreneurship. Maybe some of you are tackling that. Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like this opportunity is very much meant for you, but you just want to make sure that it's on a solid foundation and you're being responsible with the Emperor card. And the Ace of Pentacles is something that you can definitely build on from the ground up. But like I said, just do things the right way. Don't try to rush it. Don't take shortcuts. Just follow whatever plan it has to follow. Okay? Awesome, though. We're going to get a raise, y'all. Okay, so Sagittarius. This is going to be a pretty good one for y'all. It's going to be probably the lightest on Sagittarius placements, sun and rising specifically. But it's happening in your ninth house, and you know, Sagittarius is naturally at home in the ninth house, ruling long distance travel. So some of you might be going on a long distance trip, or maybe coming back from a long distance trip, something like that. Or you're planning for some trip and it seems like it's gonna work out, or you're saving for that trip, something like that. Um, with aspects to the third house, you guys could hear some type of news in regards to your siblings, maybe a change in sibling, something with your siblings. Others of you, you're going to be expanding your mind in some way, maybe learning a new topic or studying some new, sorry, studying some new, I'm just all over the place, studying some new course for work possibly, or studying something new in school. But it's likely the pace is going to pick up for you, even if, you know, we're going into Mercury retrograde. It's still going to like kind of speed things up. Okay, so what's the advice for Sagittarius under the full moon? Sagittarius under the full moon. All right, so we have the Queen of Pentacles and we have the Chariot. So you could have Cancer placements, specifically with the Chariot. So to just nurture your finances with the Queen of Pentacles and appreciate what you have and where it's going and where it's heading, how it's growing. Finances look like they're going to be improving here. And then the Chariot card is to kind of just push forward and move forward. All right, definitely celebrates transportation. So it's, you know, of course you want to be careful of delays in travel and stuff like that with Mercury retrograde. But for many of you Sagittarius placements, it's just telling you to go. Okay, telling you to just take the trip, all right, and just be careful. Because y'all probably gonna do that anyway. But yeah, so next we're moving on to Capricorn. Capricorn, suns and rising, the Leo full moon is happening in your 8th house. So many of you are going to be experiencing some finances to your changes to your finances. 8th house rules over the finances of other people and merging and intimacy and things like that. So some of you might be getting like some type of joint custody with somebody. Others of you might be either you're doing that or you're separating from that. Okay, so depending on which side of the spectrum you're on. So if you have like your own independent business, maybe you're thinking about merging with somebody else's business and combining finances. If you already are with somebody, or you already have like joint custody with somebody, maybe you want full custody, you know, something like that, or flip-flop it however it resonates for you. So either merging finances or separating. And changes in regards to your intimate relationships, your one-to-one relationships. So it could be getting more deep with somebody, or realizing that a certain connection might not be for you. It'll be one or the other. All right, Capricorn, suns and risings. So what's the advice for Capricorn's sun and risings? What's the advice for Capricorn, sun and rising? Ace of... No, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Okay, it didn't fall. I don't know what flipped out. Oh, 7 of... It's all pentacles. Y'all was trying to yell at me, and look what y'all did. Y'all made a mess. You can't see the whole table, but y'all made a mess. Okay. Sorry. Brief intermission. So we got 7 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and Ace of Pentacles. Lots of money here. So, you know, if you get an opportunity to... that seems like it's going to be good for you, or something, just be thinking about your finances and how you can be more smart or ethical about your finances, what needs to change, or what you could possibly have more of for yourself, or where you could share, or where you and somebody could work together financially. It seems like it's going to be a pretty prosperous time for you financially over the next month or so. All right, so Aquarius, all the fixed signs definitely going to be feeling this full moon the most. Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius. Aquarius, this might be a very, very intense one for you guys specifically. Okay, mainly because this whole year is just highlighted Aquarius with the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius. But yeah, so Aquarius is happening in your 7th house of long-term partnerships and marriages and stuff like that. So there's going to be some very intense or drastic changes to your connections in your life. Mainly romantic. All right, so if you're single, You could like very suddenly meet somebody and things just move very, very quickly with you and this person. There could be very harsh breakups that happen at this time. Could be engagements, children, anything that's really going to really shift the dynamic of your relationship to a certain person, or your close relationships in your life. So you heard it here first. It's not like a warning, but it is warning. So, just be prepared for a sudden shift in romantic connections. So I would say, like, the full moon energies are like 3 days before, 3 days after. You'll probably be in the clear after about a month if you don't really see much happening. If you're scared about a breakup, you're probably fine. All right. So what's the advice for Aquarius under this full moon? All right, let's try this shuffle again. I wanted to Queen of Wands, Seven of Cups. Okay. So for many of you, you're in this place where it's going to be good for you to kind of daydream a little bit and just kind of ponder your options and explore things in your mind, and, think about what it is you really want from relationships, okay? For many of you, your ideas of relationships are shifting and changing, and so focusing on whatever that makes you feel the most authentic. So this might not be a traditional relationship, all right? Maybe that's not something that interests you, but, because that's normal, you're like, maybe I should consider it. Or maybe you're like, okay, I resonated with this type of relationship before, or I resonated with marriage before, now I don't, or in the past I didn't, now I do. Whatever it is, just, think about it. Think about what you really want from love and your relationships, and it's gonna come to you pretty quickly, so don't take too long to think. All right. So next, moving on to Pisces. Pisces placement, sun and rising. This full moon's happening in your 6th house of health and work and daily routines. So it's going to be very important that, Pisces, y'all focus on your health mentally, but especially physically. All right. So you might have some flare-ups with your health going on, or something that you want to kind of nip in the bud. You feel a little off, you feel under the weather, drink some tea, some medicine, whatever you need. Just really focusing on that. And, it could be that if you had bad health issues last year, you're going to be feeling better this year, and things are going to be improving. Okay. Other things here, you might be changing up your daily routines, or, something that was in your daily routine is now leaving. Then you got to kind of fill that void. Finishing something at work, but also very likely for you, Pisces, to have a lot of tension when it comes to work, and tension if you have to go somewhere for work, if you don't work from home, disputes, fights, stuff like that. That's going to be a big part of this, and it might be affecting your health. Okay. So just be cautious about any fights that come up, or, something dramatic in regards to your work life. All right. So yeah, what's the advice for Pisces? What's the advice for Pisces? Knight of Swords. Be careful with your words. Be careful. Page of Pentacles. All right, so it might be time to consider a new hobby. Possibly, like, that could turn into a career. Knight of Swords, though, many of you are going to be feeling a little bit feisty, especially when it comes to, remember what I said in y'all's reading, defensive energy. So yeah, some of y'all are going to be feeling like snappy, or you're going to be very like, wanting to kind of pop off on somebody. Just be careful about your words. Be careful about, misinterpreting things. Again, Mercury retrograde. All right, others of you, like I said, maybe consider turning a hobby into a career, or thinking about something that you could possibly do, that another stream of income. Okay, moving on to Aries. Aries is happening in your 5th house, this full moon. Aries, sun and rising. So some of you are completing some type of project you started, maybe in regards to family or in regards to creativity. Others of you are going to be experiencing changes in your romantic life as well. So you and Aquarius mainly experiencing, but this is more so in terms of short-term romance. So it could be somebody that you had like a situationship with, you're cutting off, or it fades out, somebody that you were dealing with it kind of just ends, or maybe there's some type of closure there, possibly. There's a possibility of children here for mainly Aries and Taurus, happening in the 5th and 4th house. But yeah, Aries, especially for y'all, you know, be careful around this full moon. Pregnancy is likely. For others of you, you might be having some conflict when it comes to romance, or conflict and when it comes to loved ones, some tension, because there's different values on love. So it like kind of like that what are we conversation coming up, and there's like a lot of back and forth, or maybe your family doesn't understand something about your romantic life or your dating life, sexuality, whatever it is. So there might be some issues or some tension that comes up there. All right, conflict of interest, basically. What else for Aries as advice? What we got for Aries as advice for this full moon? Aries placements as advice. What we got for Aries as advice? All right, we got, that was a lot of cards that tried to come out with it. Really, everybody's getting the 7 of Pentacles here. 7 of Pentacles, really just continuing to evaluate and contemplate. 7 of Pentacles is definitely a more so reflective energy, reflective card. And then the Judgment card here. So thinking of ways to kind of reinvent yourself. Maybe like taking some type of past experience and bringing it up as a way to turn it into some type of creative hobby. I'm kind of getting like music, thinking of like past experience you've been through and writing about it, or writing a song about it, something like that could be really good for you, okay? Next, we got Taurus, Toro. So Taurus, this full moon is happening in your 4th house of home life, roots, family, foundation, stuff like that. So there's likely to be a change in your location physically, or something that maybe kind of changes the stability at home, or changes like the way you feel about your environment. Okay, there could be some tension when it comes down to family members, or something in regards to your home where you got to move pretty suddenly, or, you know, it doesn't have to be like a bad thing. It could just be like, you know, the environment's not safe, or maybe you have a falling out with family members, something like that. Sun and rising, Taurus. Okay, could be divorce, you know, it could be a separation why you got to move out. You could just be ready to move out, right? Something in regards to you changing stuff up at home, though, okay? So what's the advice for Taurus in regards to this full moon? Virgo, we got Hermit card. Devil. Taurus, y'all get the Devil card a lot. I don't know what that's about. Virgo and Capricorn, so strong earth energy. You could have earth placements. So we got, you know, tackling this. Let me see what this actually is about. Why is the Devil card here for Taurus? Could be some addictions, maybe, or obsessions. Why is the Devil card here for Taurus? Similar to what Virgo had, Devil and Fool. Again, so strong Virgo. You could be tied to a Virgo, or you have Virgo placements, because Virgo had the same energy here. So Devil card clarified by the Fool card and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So, you know, Taurus, as earth signs, and especially as a fixed sign, it's easy to get caught up in a loop or a cycle of just doing the same things over and over and over, and not trying new things, not trying to change the routine, because what you know was already comfortable, was already safe. All right, but you can definitely free yourself. Go inside, the Hermit card, look at some introspection and say, okay, what have I been doing that's not working? And how can I change that? How can I get myself out of this loop, or this cycle of repeating the same patterns, or just doing the same things over and over? There's a different way you could do something, or a different way you could go about an issue. But again, it is going to take you to draw back, go within yourself, and see where it is that you keep your own self stuck, and keep your own self in a cycle of, you know, just limiting beliefs or limiting yourself, that is keeping you from being more free and more open to other things and other ideas. Okay, so last two, we got Gemini. It's happening in your 3rd house. naturally for Gemini. Third house is comfortable. But still, Sagittarius is still going to have pretty much the easiest full moon here. Gemini, y'all are going to likely experience some issues. Could be definitely want to be more careful in communication, since third house rules over communication. Miscommunications are very likely for Gemini, sun and risings the most. And it could be some type of change in transportation. Maybe you get a new car, you sell a car, your car gives you issues. Very likely to have travel issues in regards to short-term travel. Short distance travel, rather. But yeah, so the main thing for y'all Gemini is to try to be very clear as you possibly can with your communication, and be as flexible as you can with your communication, all right? Because not only is this like full moon energy, this is Mercury retrograde energy here, all right? So definitely need to be prepared, have a backup plan for any travel activities, backup, keep extra tires in your car. Take it from Bronx. Be like, okay, this is my time. I need to change these tires because they're giving out. I need to change that oil because it's been a long time. So do those things for your car, all right? And be very clear with your communication with others. You might hear some news about siblings or issues with siblings. Gemini, third house rules over siblings, and like I said, just be flexible overall. All right, what's the advice for Geminis? Gemini placements under this full moon. What's the advice for them? Eight of Pentacles. The World card. Okay. Four of Swords, just slipped that at the end. So, yeah. So, Eight of Pentacles is you guys just being focused. All right, focusing on the details of whatever it is that you need to work on. Perfect your craft. Really just get really involved in it. Four of Swords, make sure you're taking time out to rest that mind that's always going, and taking some time for yourself. And the World card, be ready for expansion. Okay, there's a sense of completion or fulfillment that's headed towards y'all, and kind of like an upgrade type of energy here. All right, so lastly, we got Cancer. Cancer, suns and rising. This full moon's happening in your second house of resources and money and work. All right, so a lot of you might hear some news or some updates about some money, maybe something about taxes, something you've been waiting on financially. With the Mercury retrograde energy so close by, you could hear something about your money is delayed. Maybe a paycheck is delayed. Maybe you're not getting a refund right now, whatever the case is. Some money issues likely to come up, or something in regards to your financial status is going to shift, or you are going to get some news about, maybe something being lost, or, double check your bank statements, especially. All right. So definitely in regards to, I'm going to go back at the end and say, basics of what everybody needs to think about. All right. So yeah, money issues, or maybe you have to help somebody else financially and you're the only one that can help them. So you might lose some money, but you will always get that money back. Okay. So Cancers, what we got? What's the advice for Cancers under this full moon energy? The advice for Cancers, got Page of Pentacles. There's been a lot about the Pentacles here. A lot about the money. Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So kind of just go with the flow. Wheel of Fortune, go with the flow of where things are headed, because the more you try to fight it, the more you try to control the situation, you're just going to be very, very frustrated. You're going to be very unhappy. All right. So just go along with it, and cycles are changing. Stuff is moving. Page of Pentacles, be considering, a new hobby, or, starting some type of project, more so after the Mercury retrograde ends. Like just thinking of like some type of hobby, or something you could turn into money, or something that's financially stable and prosperous for you. Okay. So again, kind of just recapping on what I was saying here. The main signs that are going to be experiencing changes with finances is, remember, sun and rising, Scorpio, Capricorn, Pisces, and Cancer. Okay, the main signs that are going to be experiencing changes in a relationship of sorts is Aries, Aquarius, Libra, and yeah, possibly Capricorn as well. Okay, possibly Capricorn as well. Main ones that need to focus more so on self: Leo, Virgo, Pisces when it comes down to health. All right. And then changes when it comes down to structure and stability, Taurus and Cancer. Yep, and possibly Leo. Leo might get a little bit of everything here, okay? So, yeah, I would appreciate if somebody can add the timestamps for me like y'all do. I always really, because y'all know this is already a lot. And for me to do the timestamps, sometimes I just don't have time. All right, so I appreciate y'all. Hope that this was able to give y'all some heads up on what you need to focus on, what you need to do, what you need to think about for this full moon. You know, everything you need to know is going to be in the description box. Patreon messages always on my Patreon. Exclusive stuff, love messages. I do exclusive love messages on Patreon. All right. Still got beanies available on my website. I got buy a beanie, get a free mini reading, because y'all know I don't do personal readings. If you're interested, that's all I got for y'all. I am at Tarot by Bronx on everything.